Hello guys, it's Covers This coming at you with another deck profile, and yes, I am bringing you the new Dark Magician support and deck profile. Yes, here we go with the new Mahad cards. Now here he is, Mahad the Protector Priest. I made a deck completely based around this card. So without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. Then after that, we'll talk about the deck profile and also talk about the extra deck after we go over the extra deck cards. There is no official side deck, but you can be free to make what you will. Now let's get into this. Of course, the 3 Dark Magician cards. 2 Dark Magician of Chaos. 3 Mahad the Protector Priest. 3 Magician of Black Chaos. 3 Choco Magician Girls. 2 Summoner Monks. 3 Magician's Rod, 2 Allure Darkness, 1 Die of Timaeus, 1 Dark Magic Attack, 1 Raigeki, 1 Pot of Cupidity, 2 Sacred Swords of 7 stars, 1 Dark Hole, 2 Twin Twister, 2 Illusion Magic, 3 Dark Magic Circle, 1 Magician's Navigate, 1 Dark Renewal, 2 Eternal Soul, and 1 Solemn Strike. Now, as far as deck choices go, to 2 Dark Magician of Chaos, I decided to play these because to get the spell back and because of nostalgia, this deck's not just a competitive deck, it's more built off of nostalgia, but the deck actually can play pretty well with the 3 Mahads in it. And then 3 Mahads because I wanted a deck to be based around Mahad. So with Pot of Cupidity and Sacred Sword of 7 stars and Choco Magician Girl, you can trigger the card and then summon it, and it's just really nice to have this card out because of like what it is, and it's like an Egyptian card reminding you of like the pharaoh and things of that nature. If you ever into the old school series, this is what this card is all about, and definitely an old school card. So for any of those fans out there of the game, they would definitely like this deck because it's got triple of these. And the Choco Magician Girl also helps you get it back from the graveyard if it gets destroyed, and also helps you just stay like pretty much stay alive. So if they, another thing is Dark Renewal and Solemn Strikes and cards like that, they really work well with Choco Magician Girl because your opponent's gonna have to summon something out to get rid of your cards. And you know, you can even take out Dark Hole and play another Solemn Strike, and you know, Dark Renewal counts as an extra Solemn Strike type card or whatever. I'll play another Dark Renewal. But anyway, with that being said, they work really well with Choco Magician Girl because somebody's going to try to make something to get over Choco Magician Girl. That way you don't have to deal with her. And if you got her out, they'll either have to attack her. If they won't attack, then they just end their turn, and then she's still just sitting out there on the field. So she's pretty good. And then 2 Summoner Monks because you can pitch off the dead dead Pot of Cupidities or this Sacred Sword of 7 stars. Any dead draw power card, even pitch off, you know, the Eye of Timaeus, even pitch off allures and stuff. Like if you just don't need them, Summoner Monk does that, and then there's also that ability. And then 2 Twin Twisters, which I was thinking about cutting down to 1 because of just sometimes this deck just doesn't have a lot of draw power and a lot of advantage building like I assumed it did. I would assumed it would gain more advantage because of Magician's Rod and because of Dark Magic Circle, but it doesn't. Pot of Cupidity helps, but you only play 1 of this in the deck. And so Twin Twister could probably end up being an MST or some other card that really helped the deck just get around and destroy things, because you do play 3 Dark Magic Circles. So yeah, could even possibly play a Dark Expand, a Magic Expand should be maybe Magic Expand. And then the 2 Illusion Magic, I say play 2 because either way you want to have Dark Magician in your hand a lot of the times in the game, and this deck has a lot of draw power already, and it's pretty consistent. Magician's Navigate, of course, because it's Magician's Navigate, and the 1 Dark Renewal because this card is really good. I mean, you can get out Dark Magician of Chaos with this card. I would actually consider bumping this card up to 2, but I said you could either bump this card up to 2 or play another Solemn Strike. But bumping this card up to 2 is probably definitely worth it in some situations, because you can get you out of Dark Magician of Chaos, meaning your dead spell cards are going to become live again. Since the deck is based on playing on your opponent's turn a lot, some would argue that you should throw in some quick play spells to make everything a little bit faster, which you could in turn do. And Twin Twister allows you to pitch a card, which is sometimes good and sometimes not. So that could be a Typhoon or a Dark Renewal or some other kind of card that just activates on your opponent's turn, and that way, you know, certain cards can go off or whatever. But anyway, only 2 Eternal Souls because the card can get cloggy. Plus, if they destroy it, you know you lose all monsters, and that's not good. And they can search Dark Magic attack, so that's really good. And then the one Solemn Strike, because really, really good for just getting around those annoying normal summons, and you need something to operate on your opponent's turn, or either to get rid of their big boards. That's why Regeki and Dark Hole are in here. So you need something to get around your opponent's big boards, and just in case they make anything. Because the deck has outs to Naturia Beast, obviously, with Summoner Monk, and Choco Magician Girl being a thing. If they even make Nat Beast, they're not even going to be able to keep them too long, or they're not even going to attack this. With the few trap cards that the deck does play, it can survive a Nat Beast. Mainly obviously like, well, people are going to take out Dark Hole because of that whole issue. But definitely I would say keep in Raigeki. At least when these two cards are maybe only two cards you want to take out, maybe one Twin Twister and one Dark Hole. For like a Typhoon and maybe some type of trap card like Dark Renewal or Solemn Strike. Or Magic Expand. That was a Magic Expand and a Dark Renewal. Or Solemn Strike. It's just like those kind of cards that I was thinking about. And even a Typhoon. There's like a lot of different options. But just moving on to the extra deck. One Dark Paladin, one Elder Entity Norden, one Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, one Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sec, one number 11 Big Eye, one Ebon Illusion, two Ebon Illusion Magicians, one Ebon Void Magician, one S39 Utopia the Lightning, and then Utopia the Lightning, number 106 Giant Hand, Diamond Direwolf, Degustago Emeralds, two of those, and one Abyss Dweller. Now to go over the deck profile, I'll go over a few cards. Like as far as making any rank 4s, I wanted to be able to disrupt my opponent's plays, and so number 106 on my turn and Diamond Direwolf on my turn in case I had an extra back row I needed to get rid of. And the two Degustago Emeralds obviously need to get back Dark Magician from the graveyard, a little bit extra draw power so it can trigger Mahad as well. And then the one Utopia the Lightning, so get rid of Cosmos or anything that just basically has any effect that activates any damage step. And then one card that I want to talk about is Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sec. Now I see a lot of builds they don't play this card, but this card is actually really good because you get your 2 tokens and it actually allows you to detach because you don't play with Red Eyes. He cannot be destroyed by card effects, but this card can actually detach, get you 2 tokens to make tribute fodder for Dark Magician Chaos. At the same time, you are detaching and getting a Dark Magician in graveyard, which allows your Eternal Soul to pick up and activate, because that is essentially the deck's Call of the Haunted that just keeps on giving. Plus makes your Dark Magicians unaffected by card effects set for its own, so that is a really big thing. Now a couple of honorable mentions were Lemon Magician Girl, second Dark Paladin, and a second Aya Tamaya's. Wouldn't necessarily play 3 of these, and then of course Trap Tricks, Rafflesia with the cards that go along with it like Bottomless and Treacherous Trap Hole, and one Castell and things of that nature. Definitely the one Magic Expand and maybe another Pot of Cupidity, but I've wanted to put a lot more emphasis on also protecting the monsters that were in the deck and not just going like full on idiot mode. So the deck has a good amount of each things. You could possibly add more protection into the deck. The deck does have a really good amount of draw power with the Choco Magician Girls and the Magician's Robe. The problem with that is, and the only problem with that is the you only get 1 normal summon per turn. Which now that we're talking about this, you could possibly add in Brilliant Fusion. You do have room in your extra deck to add in a Brilliant Fusion, but you have to just play. I mean, if you play Brilliant Fusion, it's really risky to play it. It would definitely help out the deck a lot. I mean, you get 2 normal summon Choco Magician, summon Magician's Robe, get an extra draw, things of that nature. But it's really good because you can go Magician's Robe, play Magic Circle. If you get a Mahad and you get on top of your deck, you can play Mahad, special summon Mahad. And this is basically a Mahad based deck, and that would even help out Mahad even more. But the add-in of those 3 spell cards that I just mentioned is very, very hard to do. With the current room that's in the deck right now, it would be kind of hard to do unless you take out the Dark Magician of Chaos. Then you could add those in, and you just play that. Make a Lure of Darkness a little bit more dead, but then you also have to add into the Gem Knight, so it's very iffy if you do make it that way. But you possibly could. You probably have to change a couple cards around, and you could possibly make it happen. Could definitely make it happen. I can see it, but that is definitely the deck profile. This is the new Dark Magician Mahad deck profile. This is officially a Mahad deck. Mahad, the Protector Priest deck. Based around this card for the most part. I mean, when you special summon, it's like special summoning an extra Dark Magician because the deck has a lot of ways of just drawing into this card. Plus, you can just normally draw it, which is good, and I've had it happen to me a lot. So, Seven Swords triggers it, Pot of Cupidity triggers it, and Choco Magician Girl triggers it. And you can stack it with Dark Magic Circle to also draw it next turn and get its effect off that way. Other ways that you can trigger it is obviously Plague Spreader Zombie, and you can also trigger it with Digustical Emerald. So there are lots of ways to actually get the card trigger. And most notably, the other way I was saying that you could get this card to trigger is if you get a way to double summon these cards. So basically, if you put in a double summon or you play Brilliant Fusion, you could summon him, search the Dark Magic Circle, stack this on top of your deck. If you didn't get anything else that turn, you summon up the Choco Magician Girl, discard him, then draw into him. Also, this card just helps you go through the deck pretty fast, making this deck pretty decent speed-wise with the Magician's Rod and Choco Magician Girl. You have to just decide who you're going to summon first anyway. And the effect is pretty good too. So this is the deck profile. This is the, of course, the Mahad Protected Priest profile. But leave comments, like, and subscribe. Don't forget the white lightning attack, that like button. And that is it. Kaiba's Desk out.